Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good night, good evening. Salutations, konnichiwa, sat shri akal, hola, bonjour, qu'est-ce que tu? That does not mean hello. Je m'appelle Kamel, como t'appelles-tu? Bien. This is the Golden Rule by Kamel Rule. You have made it with me. I think so. I hope so. Or you just picked up on this today and you're going backwards, which is sick because if you've seen the movie Tenet, things move forward and simultaneously move backwards. A lot of people say they didn't get the movie, and I didn't get it at first. And then I watched it probably like 20 times. I still don't fully get it. But then I was thinking maybe there's nothing to get, right? Like there's nothing specifically to get. What you get from it is what you got, and that's what there is to get. If you got nothing from that movie, then it's like, all right, there was nothing to get. If you got everything from that movie, that's what was for you to be extracted from that film. What does that have to do with this? Everything but nothing. We'll figure it out as we go forward and backwards at the same time. This is the fourth quarter of 2025. Not the episode. What I'm saying is like the actual fourth quarter. This is the fourth quarter of the Golden Rule, titled Lust, Love, Commitment. Am I just talking romantically? No, but also yes. What are we connected to right now? The third quarter, which is acquaintances, friends, and family, which could turn into romantic relationships. Commitment. You have commitment to your acquaintances. You have commitment to your friends. You have commitments to your family. Some of your acquaintances and friends could turn into romantic relationships. You could have lust for some of those people. And that could go down a few different avenues. What was before that? The second quarter, ideas, actions, and results. When you meet people, your acquaintances, your friends, your family, you have ideas for them. You have ideas about them. You have ideas from the actions that they produce. You have ideas about the results they produce, which could connect into you, again, having lust for them, having lust for the lives that they live, having love for the lives that they live. And then you may come up with different commitments for your life because your acquaintances, friends, and family had put some ideas into play, committed some actions, got some fantastic results, and you love that. They may have set that out on purpose. They may have constructed their way of actions purposely for you to fall in love with them, for you to commit to them. That's usually what parents do, when they draft up principles. They may be winging it. I saw a funny ass tweet. Somebody said, "It's all our first time on earth, so why are you a life coach?" And I get it. We're all here, living our experience for the first time. You may be 50, and you're like, I need to coach the younger generation, which makes sense. Like you have 50 years of experience. If you're a 15-year-old life coach, you know what I'm saying? For me, you may have some beneficial ideas and actions. You may have had some amazing results from your life coaching. But most people are going to think, this person is 15. What do they have to teach me? I think you can learn a lot from the youth. Maybe life coaching isn't the best title for that, though. Maybe it's just vibe training aura training, catching the vibes. What are the vibes that the 15-year-olds are on these days? Because, like the fountain of youth. I could use that, like corporations do. We can latch onto that, make some money off of it. I can feel cool and youthful again. I don't know. First episode, nostalgia, the moment, the future. Nostalgia, going back to yesterday about what made me feel good. The moment that I'm in right now. The future, tomorrow, next year, the year after that. 10 years from now. 10 seconds from now. What time is it? It's 8:55 a.m. 5 minutes from now. What will I be doing? What do I want to do? Is a bomb going to drop somewhere and the world's going to be over in 5 minutes? I pray to my Lord and Savior not. Is it possible? Yeah. I mean, you've seen many movies. We'll check back in 5 minutes to see if I'm still here. And hopefully there are no world tragedies. We got to circle back to our sponsors. I am drinking Wake Up Blend from Trader Joe's. Shout out to Trader Joe's. They do not sponsor me. I am a civilian and I shop there. What do I use when I shop there? I use my Coinbase card. And I get 0.5% of Bitcoin with every transaction. How much is that, K-Mel? You got to do the math. If you spend $10,000 somewhere, which I know all you guys are doing right now, because, everybody's got $1 million and everybody's spending $10K a day. If you spend $10,000, I'm good at math, good enough to bust out my calculator right now. If you spend $10,000 times 0.05, you would get back $500 in Bitcoin. You're like, damn, that seems like a lot. Yeah, it does, because you're spending 10 G's in a day. I can't, one day maybe I can do that. I can't do that right now. But what I'm saying is bust that down to $1,000 or maybe $100. It all adds up. Shout out to those two sponsors. They don't sponsor me. Maybe I sponsor them. Yeah. Shout out to the tech. I got an Apple sticker on my Volt apparatus right here. That's how we plug in with our mic. This is an AKG mic. Shout out to AKG. Shout out to Guitar Center, where I used my Coinbase card to purchase these things from. Shout out to Apple. We got the MacBook. Yep. Shout out to coffee. Shout out to ESPN. I'm watching ESPN right now. Okay. Let's move forward into the discussion. Let's move forward into the talk. Let's move forward. I had a friend tell me that they were listening to my podcast and there was loops going in and out and then connecting back. And I understood that. I think I don't know. I don't watch all podcasts, so I want to clean up my speech before I say. I think all podcasts are like that, but usually conversations are like that, right? I don't have notes right now. I have notes for some shows, but for this show, I don't have any notes. I have a direction, an ultimate direction that I started with, but I don't have any notes like, oh, this episode is going to be about this, and this. Like a teacher teaching you at school, they have a day plan for what they're going to teach you based on what they taught you yesterday. And maybe if they didn't fully get through what they were teaching you yesterday, we'll pick back up tomorrow. We'll continue from here. But yeah, I feel like a lot of conversations are like that, right? You'll be talking to somebody about something. Hey, I wanted to talk to you about this. This person will be like, hey, I hear you and I'm listening to you. You are heard and seen. And then they'll bring up something else, right, that you weren't thinking about at that time, which connects to what you were talking about. And you're like, oh, damn, I understand that you felt the same way that I feel in this moment from that situation that you just brought up to me. And you know how else I feel about that situation that you just brought up that I wasn't thinking about at all? I feel like this, so on, so forth. And it's just breaking off different avenues of this conversation to where at the end, We're going to circle all the way back like a freeway entrance. You're going to go over that overpass, make that left while you're slapping your favorite song. Boom, you get on this freeway. Back to understanding of us being like, okay, cool, I understand how you felt in that situation, what you were meaning in that situation, the things that I didn't hear, that I should have heard, or maybe that I should have picked up on from your tone, or from your energy, or from what you went through the day before, which made you feel a specific way about what we were talking about. These are things I feel should be thought about all the time, but they're not easily thought about. And I don't even want to say, man, it takes practice to feel this way or to operate this way. Yeah, but it's like, it's like practice it's not even scheduled practice. It just happens, right? Like, shout out to my nephew, my favorite basketball player, not named Kobe Bryant and Allen Iverson. Shout out to him. He has scheduled basketball practice, whatever time the coach schedules it, 1 to 2 p.m., 2 to 3 p.m., 3 to 6 p.m. There's a schedule. You could be a public speaker and you have a schedule. But more than likely, before you were public speaking, you was just out in the streets talking to people randomly. And collected all this experience of how to navigate situations, dealing with people, how to read tones, what to say, what not to say. Maybe you love making people laugh with derogatory and off-the-wall jokes, which are not too disrespectful, because we live in a free world where being sensitive is frowned upon, because people want to make fun of you. They want to make fun of your race. They want to make fun of your ideas. They want to make fun of your thoughts. But without you, being mad about it. Because, like I said, then they'll tell you, hey, bro, calm down. I'm just joking. Even though I'm serious in these thoughts, I'm joking with how I'm releasing them. You feel me? Shout out to Trader Joe's coffee. What does that have to do with lust, love, and commitment? That could make you break your commitment with some people. Just listening now, they talk all the time. That can make you fall out of love with somebody that you thought you'd be in love with. I met this girl. She was so cool. And then she made fun of fat people. And I'm not fat right now, but I used to be fat. And, that pushed me the wrong way. And I didn't like it. And I know that wasn't her first time doing that. And if she feels so comfortable with doing that, what else does she make fun of? Do I want my kids to grow up that way? This is not a true story about me. But I'm sure it's happened to somebody somewhere. You can come forward if that has happened, or if you've thought this way. Or on the flip side, I'm in love with this girl more and more, right? Because we share the same dark humor. We was walking down the street. We saw a fat person together, and without saying anything, we just looked at each other and started laughing. It was a lovely moment. That's just, what I live for. You're like, damn, that sounds crazy. And it's like, yeah, it does. But, there are people outside like that. You ever been on dating apps and you see must be into dark humor? It's a free world outside. It is what it is. That person will fall in love with somebody who is like them. And it's all good. And maybe they may have a child that saves the world, cures cancer, cures poverty. Very possible. With all that said, I think we can all say that good things can come from people who make bad decisions to a majority. and vice versa. And what does that say ultimately? Jokingly, everything but nothing. Why? Because there's some things to take very seriously. There's some things to take not so seriously. And in this chronic internet world, you know how they say some people are chronically online. Like, have you ever checked your time and see how long you're online? Not just for a day, like maybe for a week. Like, if you make money online, it really doesn't matter. I think the term chronically online is for people who are just online. Like, I want to say for no reason. There could be a reason. But the reason is not business, right? It's not networking to lead to business. It's just, being online. You could be building skills, reading things. But have you ever checked that? I feel like it is beneficial to check. If you really care, you may not. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of people who care a lot of people who don't care at all. And then there's everybody in the middle debating over what should be cared about more and what should be cared about less. And then when you have those debates, you have somebody pushing for the more. Then you have somebody that catches on later, pushing for the less, pushing for the more, pushing for the less. And that's where we get love, lust, and commitment. It's not the only place we get these things from, but the things that humans enjoy doing become things that they love, that they lust over, that they commit to. Lust is not just about sexual attachment. I feel like a good synonym for lust is a ferocious type of desire, a deep desire. You can like something, then you can lust over it. You know what we should do? This is why we have computers, because we can just look up definitions. I'm doing this live on air. Fire, right? The lust definition, it says very strong sexual desire. Also says having a very strong sexual desire for someone, but I don't feel like it's just specifically about sex. People also ask, what is the true meaning of lust? Lust means an intense, aka ferocious, often uncontrollable, could be ferocious, craving or desire, ... commonly for sexual activity, most commonly, but shout out to Press Juicery. I could lust over this Daily Greens drink that I'm drinking right now. Could have a very intense and often controllable craving for it, like sugar or alcohol or drugs of some sort, which would be terrible for you. Shout out to this cucumber, celery, lemon, spinach, kale, parsley, sea salt mix. Thank you for it. I am not sponsored by Press Juicery. I am actually sponsoring Press Juicery. And if you've never been to Press Juicery, you should try it for a juice cleanse. Very beneficial for your health. So like I said, circling back to these things that we do in the first quarter, that nostalgia, that moment, that hope for the future, that lust for the future, that lust for these ideas and actions for successful results that we want to produce. These acquaintances, friends and family that connect to these ideas and results that we like, love, lust over, hate, commit to. It all connects throughout your life and throughout your first, second, third, fourth quarter. So what do I do to get ready for the next quarters? The first thing is building habits. As I've talked about before, and sometimes you can sway from these paths or from these habits that you find very beneficial. This just happened to me recently. And I won't get into detail, but the best part is that I'm here to tell you about it. And if your gut is telling you, more than likely, majority of the time, that you shouldn't do something, you should probably not do that. If your gut, which can also be seen, I think, as your conscience, they say your gut is telling you, and it's like your conscience is telling you. They're probably like two of the same things. One's in your mind, one's in your stomach. It sounds like. But if your gut and your mind, conscious, is telling you 5 times over, yeah, it's probably not a good idea. It's probably not a good idea. And how we talked about taking things, level 5 serious to level 10 serious. It's up to you to figure out how serious you're going to take things that you do every day, like recording this podcast, like how deep you're going to, analyze this Monday night football game that I'm about to watch. How hard you're going to go into this juice cleanse, how hard you're going to start working out January 1st, 2026, how hard you've already started working out because you're like, I'm not going to wait till January. Why not just do it now? Or you've already built the habits where you're like, I've been working out for like 5 years. This is nothing new to me. I've been on a healthy diet. This is nothing new to me. This is for everybody in the middle, right? This is for everybody further along in their commitments to their greatest life ever. You could be listening to this and really just get a, positive jolt. Be like, yep, that's the shit that I was on, and this is leading me in the right direction. You could hear this and it was some shit that you were not on at all, and you're like, you know what? I need to connect these, simple principles into my life. It could be some shit that you don't like. You're like, I don't need to listen to this. I'm not about to do none of this stuff. That's cool too. Do whatever you want. It's the world we live in that you have the freedom to do whatever you want. But not everything you do leads to a great place. People can say the word great is subjective. But I feel like we're at a point where the word great is pretty objective. 95%. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's going outside and it's like, yo, bro, I got 4 baby mamas. I got 7 different child support payments. And it's fucking great. Most people are going to be like, I don't know, man. And in that person's life, he could be dead ass serious. Like, this is the way I wanted to live my life. That person could be ridiculously rich, and, these different houses he has to visit, like Santa Claus at Christmas, and all these payments he has to make isn't really a problem to him. Maybe he likes it. Maybe he has a lust for child support, a commitment to child support, right? But, if you were just reading a book or, I don't know, looking at objectively good and beneficial and successful people, not many would mention, what you need to do is, rack up 7 different child support payments. This is really the rush of life. Most people aren't going to say that. What people will say is great, right? Eating fruit, right? You never heard a health guru, quote unquote, person say eating fruit is bad. Eating bad fruit is bad. Like eating fruit that has rotted and, sat in a bad place for 2 months and expired, that's bad, yes. Eating fresh fruit, you will 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, let's go all the way, you will never hear that it's bad. Vegetables, same thing. Some people don't like the taste of vegetables, but you get what I'm saying. Objectively, fruit, vegetables, whole foods, good for your body. making money, good for you. You will hear people say money isn't everything. People have different thoughts about those people. I don't know. Money does not bring you or give you happiness. Let me get some money and let me figure it out for myself. Maybe money didn't bring you happiness. Maybe you had some money and you did some things that made you unhappy. Maybe you had some money and you got to live your nostalgic times. You got to enjoy a moment. You kind of got to enjoy the future. Then you put your money into some ideas and actions that did work out for you, created some beautiful beneficial results, or on the flip side, created some very unwanted results. Maybe your acquaintances tried to rob you. Maybe your acquaintances invested in you. Maybe your friends and family loved you more. Maybe you guys spent so much time together, you guys shared the wealth. Lust, love, and commitment grew. Or it could have went opposite. All these four quarters connecting through a simple idea of something that most people see as good. So you listen to, I don't know, however many podcasts you listen to. Some podcasts are really just stories, that you find very amusing after a long day of work. And you want to get your mind away from work and you want to hear about some debauchery. Is that a word? Debauchery. Maybe you want to get your mind out of work and you want to hear about some ratchet shit and you turn on a ratchet podcast. Maybe you don't like to read books with your own voice and you want to hear books being read. We're getting to a point though. You see, we're getting to this AI bubble and then these next things and these next things. And people are trying to go back into, the way the world was in the good old days, when niggas was camping outside, you had a farm, you were not chronically online, you were outside doing hella shit, you were not inside, people were not working. And as we talked about it earlier, there is a push into what's better, what's worse, what's better, what's worse. I think truly in my second season of podcasting, I'm not saying podcasting is going to end soon. I don't think it, really should end. People are going to talk forever. But I think in areas where there aren't any, more results to be presented, there aren't more things to figure out. Some of those areas are going to come to a standstill. Why? Because there's just nothing new to produce, right? I'm not going to make this podcast forever. I will if I get paid. But, you see how I broke it down in season 2, only 4 episodes versus season 1, there was 12, one a month. I don't even want to hear me talk every day about the golden rule. The very common golden rule that you should know of. Treat others how they like to be treated. Treat others how you like yourself to be treated. Find a nice, positive medium in the inside. And if niggas ain't treating you how you want to be treated, leave them alone. Very simple. That's also a golden rule. Realize how people treat you. And if it's not beneficial and positive, leave them alone. Because, if you're a terrible person to me, I'm not going to flip around and be a terrible person to you because I'm not naturally a terrible person. I'm just going to leave you alone because you bringing terribility, is that a word? I just made it up. You bringing terribility out of me is just going to make this whole interaction terrible and we might try and kill each other. Nobody wants that. Great stuff we just discussed, right? Shout out to everybody being honest and genuine outside. Shout out to you following your dreams. Shout out to all of the dators looking for love outside because you hear that a lot. A lot of the dators are like, man, these dating apps are terrible. Man, nobody's really honest outside, man. But yeah, you go outside, you talk to a girl, she's already talking to 10 other guys, and nobody's real out here, man. These dating apps ruined everything. I feel like that may be true. It's like investing on your phone. Like people say they gamified it, but if you just follow the simple principles of investing, you're doing well, right? Even though Robinhood looks like a video game on your phone, you're stuck to the principles. Top companies, my money, investing, sit and wait, right? Simple. If you are still into the simple principles of love, you should be doing well online or in any dating realm that you try to date in. And then you circle around. Maybe it's not you, bro. Maybe the ideas and actions that you present aren't getting the results you want because it's not you. It's majority of everybody else. Like you said, you go on a dating app and you're like, yes, I found this one girl I really like. And dead ass, there could be 20, more than likely there is, 20 dudes trying to talk to her. She's either overwhelmed or she's enjoying it. Maybe a mixture of both, depending on her mood. And you're like, man, this shit ain't the same no more. And it's like, yes, but no, because it really is the same. Because if this very beautiful girl was at the mall, do you think you're the only guy that tried to talk to her at the mall just because this is an IRL place? For people who don't know what IRL means in real life, not chronically online. So you're in an IRL place, you see this beautiful girl, you go talk to her, she's like, ugh, no. Do you think it was you? Or do you think that it's possibly because you were the 27th person to walk up to her today? It could be both. But what I'm saying is, this is just IRL things streamlined to your phone. DoorDash was alive way back in the day. It was just called Pizza Hut delivery. What's the difference between me ordering food from a app, getting it delivered to my house, versus me calling Pizza Hut and be like, yo, bro, let me get that stuffed crust cheese pizza delivered to the house. And then you tell them your address and then they deliver it to you and you give them an extra tip. It's the same thing, really. Shout out to this press juicery. A lot of these things are the same. We just interact with them differently. So before I leave and come back next season, baby, I just want you to know that a lot of this shit is the same. It's just presented to us differently. And it's up to you to figure out how you want to navigate this online world and this IRL world. Maybe mesh them together for, the best results in your life, the best commitments, the best ideas and actions for the best nostalgic times for your acquaintances, friends, and family members. Don't you just love how I'm just meshing the titles together of all of these podcasts and it all works out for everything going on in your life? Hopefully you're taking notes. If not, you're taking mental notes. You may think none of this even makes sense. That's not true, because it does. You may be listening to a podcast that, explains it maybe a little bit better than I do. You may think I'm the best nigga explaining this shit right now. You're like, why isn't this guy more famous? If you feel that way, pump me up somewhere. Give me a sponsor somehow. Shout out to you for even thinking that. But all I'm saying is, you know the way. Your mind is telling you the way. Your gut is telling you the way. Your results are telling you the way. Follow the positive results. Follow the positive information. Follow the positive love, positive lust, positive commitment, positive acquaintances, positive friends and family, positive nostalgia. You may have negative nostalgia that just serves as a lesson for your past. It might not be nostalgic. I guess that's a different word. Hold. I'm a very definitionized person. Hold on. Can we have negative nostalgia? Because people say nostalgic is like, nostalgia. A sentimental longing or wishful affection for the past. Okay. I feel like you can't have negative nostalgia. I feel like maybe this is a question for the class, maybe a question for the notes. Can you have a sentimental longing or wishful affection for a negative moment in the past? I think you can. I think some people do that. I think that's why relationships that are abusive and bad connect and go on for so long, because those nostalgic times keep them together. That nostalgia of getting in an argument and almost killing each other and then turning around and having the best makeup sex of ever life is like, oh my God, let's do that again. Right? Let's start an argument again for no reason so we can spiral around to this, great excitement that we had, because, we don't have this energy, regularly, just sitting in the house or even just going outside. We have to spark it somehow. It's like dynamite. We have to spark this relationship, turn around to negative nostalgia. But man, shout out to you for listening to me. Shout out to me for presenting myself to you. I'm proud of myself, how I put this whole podcast together with the titles and how they came out. Season 3, bro, it's going to come. I don't know when it's going to come. I don't know how it's going to come. I'm going to try and do video for you because I know you'd love to see me talk rather than just hear me. I know you love to hear me, but you'd love to see me even more. And I'm going to try and do that for you. I just wanted to be... Are we connecting to titles again? The ideas and actions that I put in to giving you visual podcasting are things that I think about, and I haven't thought about it yet, like fully to where I want to commit to, hey, this. I don't want to just be talking to you on screen in front of a white wall. I'm sorry. I could sit in my backyard and talk to you. I don't want to do that either. Let me do what I want to do, so then I can present it to you how I want to present it to you. And then you can find it very aesthetically pleasing. And then we can both be in love with the shit. You feel me? So again, happy 2025. I hope you enjoyed the year. Quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, the first through the 12 months. Love your family, love your close ones. Take care of your body. I can't stress this anymore. Take care of yourself. I'm not sure fully if you only have one life, but I'm 80% sure. And I have no proof of a second one. So let's put all the lust and love and commitment into this one amazing body you have and just build it up fully. My name is Kamel Jamal Rule. I am signing off for season 2 of the Golden Rule podcast. Stay smooth.